Guy, have fun now.
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? I'm not a politician.
That's why your money is missing like NEPA light.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.
And hello everyone. Hello everyone. Okay, hello everyone, and good afternoon, and welcome to today's live session here on Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube, because we're also televising on YouTube. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Welcome and welcome. My name is Chukwuemeka Onyedezi, and if you're just joining us, we are going to be having a very interesting discussion this morning. If you're joining us on Instagram, just to let us know in the comment section that you're here with us. If you're on Facebook, also let us know that you're here with us. If you're on YouTube, yes, I already see you. Oh, wow. On YouTube, I can already see that our ebook or 2 leader is already there. Good morning, ma. I can see Apostle. Good morning, Apostle, sir. Welcome, sir. Yes, I can see Dr. Wanfo. I can see Yemi. Right? Yes, and I can see Mrs. Wanko. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm glad to have you here with us. Those on Instagram, you are all welcome too. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Very, 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 very happy to have you all here today. All right, so today, we're going to be talking about something very, very, very interesting, right? Yes, we're going to be looking at buying a stock without understanding the business, right? The implications. We want to look at the implications of buying stocks without fully understanding the business, which is what a lot of people do, right? A lot of people, unfortunately, don't even care about understanding the business. So most times people just say, just tell me what to buy, just tell me what to put the money, or people just go online and they're looking for people talking about stocks and trending stocks. Have you bought this stock? Buy that stock, and they just pick the anyone that seems there or that sounds good to them or they think is good, they just buy. Most times people think a company is good by what people say about it, right? Without understanding that there's a financial aspect to that company. And if you're an investor who wants to invest in that business, one place you should be looking at is the financial aspect of the business, right? You should be looking at their financial statements. You should try to understand what it is the company has been doing, and you should understand the business side of the company. Right? Very, very important that you understand the business side of the company. So it's good that you understand the business side of the company, which tells you a whole lot about it. All right. So we want to look at buying a stock without understanding the business. Buying a stock without understanding the business. Because actually, for me, this is the most expensive mistake that investors make. It's the most expensive mistake the investors make, and it's one of the most common mistakes that people also make as well, right? One of the most common, but very dangerous, because buying a stock without understanding the business behind it, it looks very harmless, right? Very, very harmless. After all, the price is going up. People are talking about it. It seems like a very good opportunity. Everybody's talking about it. This is the time to buy now. Just jump in, right? But this single mistake, right, is responsible for more losses than people even realize. This single mistake. I've had a lot of people tell me they've lost money in the stock market in the past. In fact, some people say, I've lost so much money in the stock market that I just give up. Some people say, oh, I drained my savings in the stock market. And it's simply because of this particular thing. It's simply because of buying without understanding the business. So a lot of people sank in their money in stocks that took it away in a bad business. Right? So that's one of the biggest issues we have with stock investing is people not getting to understand. And I don't know, there's something about us not wanting to gain knowledge before understanding. And that's why whenever someone meets me and say, please, can you tell me, I want to start stock investing this month. Tell me which stock to invest in. I tell you, come and learn first. Come and learn first. Telling you the stock to invest doesn't help you. Maybe if I don't tell you, another person might tell you. You might just burn your hand in the process, right? A lot of people have given me stories of how they were told to buy stocks. They bought and eventually they lost their money. So we need to understand that business side of stocks, all right? So there's an illusion when you think you're investing, but you don't even understand when you're investing. It's just an illusion. So when people buy stocks without understanding the business, they believe they're investing. They're telling themselves, oh, I'm investing. Oh, I've invested. Right? They believe that, yes, they have invested. But the reality, the truth is, they are speculating. Last week, we talked about speculators and investors. Right? The truth is, when you buy stocks without understanding the business, you're actually speculating. And you're speculating without even knowing it. Because true investing is not about buying a stock. Really, it's not. True investing is owning business. It's owning business. So when you're buying something you don't understand, right? It means that you don't even understand how this business makes their money. You just bought the stock. You know really nothing about the stock. You don't know how the business make their money. So you don't know if they will continue making money in the next years to come. You don't know if they will go bankrupt tomorrow. You don't know if there's anything that will happen to them tomorrow. Right? Yes, thank you so much, Ma, for that. Let's always remember that buying stocks means buying a portion of a business. It's that important. Right? If you understand it's buying a portion of the business, so you want to know, okay, this business that I want to do, what are they doing to make money? This business I want to put my money in, that I want to invest in, how are they making money? Is it the kind of business that after a year, people are no longer interested in what they are selling? You need to understand. Right? You really need to understand. It's important. If you do not take your time to understand the business, it means that You don't know what affects its growth. You can't foretell what will affect the growth of this company. You can't tell what can make them stop making money. You can't tell what would affect them in the future that would indirectly or even directly affect you as an investor. So it means you're not doing due diligence. You're not doing due diligence. If you don't understand the business, you don't know the risks that the business has. You don't know the risks. You don't know the future potential of the business. You don't know if this is a business that can last for years. You don't know if this is a business that, well, with the kind of services or products that they have, give them maximum 10 years, people are going to move away from them and focus on other things. Right? There are companies that in the last few decades, they were the in thing. Today, they practically don't have anything to sell anymore. Why? Because they did not move with time. They didn't move with time. They didn't move with the changes. I'll give you a typical example of companies that somehow started having a decline because they didn't join the trend of life, if I put it that way. What do I mean? See, at a certain point in life in the world, what was reigning, it was the time when phones were coming in. At that time, phones were becoming a new thing. What was reigning was being able to make a call, answer a call. Phones were built in a certain way. There were people who were in business as at that time. People were in business. And we have people like Nokia, fully, heavily on business. Right? Phones started getting a bit smarter, moved from those kind of buttons, started bringing in more features, charts came in, BlackBerry came into business. But BlackBerry didn't last. Right? The moment WhatsApp came in, they knocked them off. In fact, they had people, companies like To Go, just like WhatsApp in the past, they also were knocked out of business. Nokia somehow couldn't meet up with going into the Android market. And that was almost their debt. All right. Quite a lot of companies that couldn't meet up with the demands of the modern world. And they paid dearly for it. They paid dearly for it. So you should take your time to sit down and ask yourself, which company seems like these people have long-term growth? Which company seems like, oh, they are trying? Have you watched Samsung? Samsung produce Android phones, but if you watch how competitive Samsung is with companies like Apple, you know that Samsung is always competing. And we have some other ones that are coming up today, that are trying to compete with the quality that Apple brings to the market. That also is a sign of longevity. You need to be able to look at the world and ask yourself, where is the world headed to? Like I would always tell people, see, with the whole climate change thing that is happening and the need for newer energy, the need for greener energy, you will know that EVs are a thing for the future, whether you like it or not. It's just time. It's just time. Most European countries have decided that by 2030, they want to have a larger proportion of their motor vehicles as EVs. So it means that in the nearest future, electronic vehicles are going to be a thing. They're going to be in high demand, right? So it's just time. And of course, it is easier. It's going to be cheaper for you to run a vehicle that is rechargeable than one that you need to keep buying petrol for at every point in time. So you need to be able to project and ask yourself, in the nearest future, will this company be relevant or not? If you're looking at a company that is heavily dependent on fossil fuel energy, now the question is, how relevant will they be in the next 20, 30 years? See, even heavy companies in the US, like motor vehicle companies, are quietly, gradually moving away from fossil fuel engines to electric. Some started with hybrid, right? From hybrid, most of them now are moving towards electric vehicles because the truth is, it is the future. So these are things you need to sit down, ask yourself. So you're not just, oh, I'm investing because this is the name. No. What relevance do they remember? You are investing for the next 20 years. You're investing for the next 30 years. So if you're investing for the next 20 years, that company you're putting your money in, would they be relevant in 20 years to come? Would they still be relevant? These are questions you should ask yourself, right? These are researches you need to make about the kind of business. You need to look at the industry. When you get into an industry, you want to invest from a certain or particular kind of industry. You need to know, okay, these people, can they survive in this industry? If they are new, can they survive here? What may affect their growth? Somebody told me one time that they lost money in the stock market, a lot of money, she and her husband. And I asked her, okay, can I have the list of the companies that you invested in? All the companies has, I don't know what to say about them. I picked out one. I won't mention the name, right? It was an insurance company. But honestly, in Nigeria, if you count the first 15 insurance companies in Nigeria, whether by capitalization or, right, by any ramification at all, they don't rank 15. And eventually that particular insurance company packed up. The question is, why do you want to put your money? The truth is, people don't look at stock investing from the side of the business, because the truth is, if that same person was told to invest in that insurance company, right, not through the stock market, they'll just come and tell you, oh, I want to become a partner. Can you put your money in this business? They'll probably not, because they know that, no, these people don't seem like they're going anywhere. These people don't seem like they can even compete. They don't seem like they can compete with the big insurance companies currently, right now. Right? And you know that that's not where to put your money. It's just like, for example, also in the cement industry. See, the ones that are already competing with the biggest name in the cement, I want to mention names. The ones that are competing with them are struggling to compete with them. So imagine there's a new cement company that just comes up today, and then you're rushing to buy their stock, when the ones that are already existing can't compete with the big dog in the market. Right? So these are things we need to look out for, right? You need to look out for all these things. You know, you need to move away from relying on things like price movement alone. That's not the reason to just buy a stock, not price movement. You need to move away from relying on just opinions to buy a stock. You need to move away from relying on just noise to buy a stock. Because most times for me, it's just noise that people make, right? They just make noise about one particular stock. Like recently, these days, you go on social media, what you hear is noise about a particular IPO that is coming up. A lot of people they know nothing about the business that person is doing, that company is doing. They don't know how the company makes their profits, right? They don't know how the refinery is, if they will stand the test of time. They don't know if they will be able to survive in the next 10 years. You know, there's quite a lot of don't knows that people do not know, but they don't care. People just want to invest because people are talking about it. Everybody, their celebrities are talking about it. The influencers, the creators are talking about it. So they just want to buy because everyone is talking about it. Not out of personal conviction or out of, personal decisions based on information and research. And that's not investing at all. That's just guessing. So a lot of us just guess. Just guess. Right? And it's very dangerous. And there's a lot of reasons why it's dangerous. Number one reason why it's dangerous is that you can't hold during tough times. You can't. See, every business goes through tough times. Every business goes through downturns. Business go through times of bad news, market corrections, But if you don't understand what you own, a small drop will feel like danger to you. Small shake like this, fear takes over. And when fear takes over, you panic and you sell. You panic and you sell. But somebody who understands the business, right, is going to see all those temporary noise and going to understand that that dip is not a permanent loss. It's not a permanent loss. So eventually things will correct itself. And if you can see through that, even if they said, oh, the market is down today by 20%, you're not bothered. You say, okay, no, prefer you buy more of that particular stock. Because you know that clearly, looking at their financials, these people are at a good place business-wise. So what is happening in the stock market is temporary. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. When they say buy and hold, it's not for company when no strong. Because we say that a lot. They say, oh, buy and hold. It's not buy and hold is for solid companies. That you know that no matter what is happening today in the economy, they will bounce back. For example, there are companies that couldn't survive COVID-19 pandemic. There are companies that you know that no matter how many years COVID-19 was to last, they are there to stay. Yes, they would go down, but the fact that would be an opportunity for you to buy more. COVID-19 was an opportunity to buy more stocks. It was an opportunity, right? For those stocks that had good business background, good business grounds. Big opportunity. Anyway, let's move. Number 2 is you don't know when to buy more or sell, right? So without good understanding, you buy because price is rising. They say this thing is going up or the price is going up. And I know there are people here that do that just buy simply because price has started going up, they rush and buy. Right? Because also one of the strategies that that is used in investing is to buy when the price is up, not when the price is dipping. Right? A price, buy when the dip has started rising. That's how we say it. Buy when the dip has started rising, but not for a business that is not grounded. Without understanding, that will be the only reason why you'll be buying. Without understanding, you will sell because price is falling. Because you don't even understand the business. So they say, this stock is falling, stocks are down, the market is down. Man. You rush and go and sell. Simply because you don't even understand what you bought. So you become reactive. Once anything happens, you're reactive. Right? You react to every flinch on the stock market. If it goes up like this, you hold your heart. If it goes down, you calm down. Things like that. Yeah, you become controlled by the markets instead of thinking independently. Number 3 is you become vulnerable to hype. Right? We're looking at why it's so dangerous for you. Why it's so dangerous for you to buy a stock without understanding the business. Right? So number 3 we are on is you become vulnerable to hype. So when you don't understand the business, you depend on others. You depend on influencers. You depend on friends. You depend on social media. You depend on, in quotes, experts. So when the hype is on, you follow. Right? When the hype disappears, you're confused. The funny thing about social media is, when there's hype, you see all of them talking about it. When the hype is over, nobody's talking about it anymore. You'll not be wondering what's going on. Should I stay? Should I leave it? Should I sell? Should I sell? And most times, the hype is not really because it's a good buy. The hype is because that is what is bringing traffic. That's what is bringing traffic on social media. So they key in on the hype. That's what social media is about. That's why if you think you want to invest and all you need to do is to just follow an investing page and just keep, no. Most investing pages and all that, they always offer more other programs, right? What you see on the investing pages most times is just to drive traffic. If you want to understand the real deal, it's in classes like this, it's in programs like Money Click. That's where you get to understand the real deal. Right? It's in programs like in courses or webinars like the How to Make Money from Stocks webinar that is coming up. How to Make Money from Stocks webinar that is coming up. That's where you get to understand what's going on. It is not by the posts that you get to see on social media. I'm just being very honest with you. It's not by it. So you need to do this. You need to go a little bit further, right? You need to go a little bit further than just following what influencers and or what's not are talking about. No, that's not what you need. That's not what will guide your investing. That is not what should guide your investing. Ideally, it shouldn't guide your investing. Right? Social media should not be what will drive your investing. It shouldn't be. Hype shouldn't be what will drive your investing. Because at the end of the day, I would always tell people that when the hype is plenty, you are most obviously going to buy that stock overpriced. It's going to be overpriced. When the hype is plenty, when there's a lot of hype about the stock, you're already too late. The people who make money from stocks or from any business at all are people who discovered that business before everyone got to know about it. Right? Are people who got to know about that strong business before the whole crowd got to know about it. Those are the real investors. So as the hype is firing, the real investors are moving away. That's when they are selling and chilling. That's when the noise makers are coming in. And those are the people that lose money. Those are the people that make money for those who really invested. I'm talking about people who invested years ago. Then you just heard about it. There's a hype about it today. And then you jump in. Right? You jump in and then you'll be the one to pay the price. You'll be the one to pay the price. So avoid hype. By all means, avoid hype. And I think that was last Thursday, I told a story about me jumping in on the hype some years ago. If you go back to that video, you're going to find that story, right? About me jumping in on the hype. That was on Thursday Live on YouTube last week, right? And I paid dearly. I almost paid. Okay, I did it. I was lucky, but I almost paid for it, right? So the How to Make Money from Stocks webinar is coming up. You should be there. You should be there. Come in and learn. That if you want to invest and you don't get the knowledge, you pay the price. That's the truth. Right? You pay the price. I'm not saying you should be perfect. I'm not saying you should learn everything before you start investing, but there are basics that you need to know. There are basics you need to know. Right? And this is where you learn those basics and even more, all right, in the How to Make Money from Stocks webinar. All right, okay, let's move on. So the next one, number 4, is you turn investing into gambling, right? You turn it into gambling. Why it's so dangerous for you to put your money or for you to invest in stocks without understanding the business. It becomes gambling for you. Some people invest in the stock market, but they are not better than people who are putting their money in sports betting. Yeah. Yes, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you don't understand what you're doing, the stock market becomes a casino for you. So it means that sometimes you may win, sometimes you lose, but over time, lack of understanding will catch up with you. In fact, when you begin to invest in the stock market this way, somebody who even understands the gambling itself and is gambling on the casino becomes better than you. The person who has more odds of winning more than you. So it's just simply gambling. Right? It's just simply gambling. A very simple way to think about this thing is, imagine someone offers you a chance to buy a restaurant. Right? Imagine if somebody offers you an opportunity to invest in a farm. Imagine somebody offers you a share in a school, right? Using real life scenarios now, right? Would you invest in any of these things without asking, how does it make money? Would you invest in it? Would you put your money in a restaurant without asking them, how many customers do you get in a day? Would you invest in a farm without asking them, how do you make your money? Would you invest in a school without getting to know, okay, in the past, how much have you been making? How many students do you have? How many students are you looking? What's the potential of getting more students? Would you invest without asking who runs these businesses? Who's running it? Who is the person at the helm of activities? Would you invest without asking what the risks are? You want to invest in a farm and you're not asking what the risks are. Is it possible? Would you invest without understanding the risks? Is it possible? In fact, I remember one time when I was in Makodi. So at some point, the rice farming was booming, you know. Then at some point, I felt, okay, let me even find out about this rice farming. When I tried to find out about it, the things I heard, the risks, I said, nah, I wasn't ready. The biggest risk for me was the insecurity, because the places where rice was farmed the most, close to Makodi, is a local government called Gwe West. Why? Because Gwe West is surrounded by the River Benue, by a part of the River Benue, right? So they do rice farming a lot all around Gwe West. But unfortunately, at some point, that was the biggest place. It had the biggest insecurity issues. That whole Gwe West region. In fact, at some point, a lot of villages were sacked. Right? That's apart from the risk of flooding. When flooding happens, sometimes everything goes. But bigger than the risk of flooding was the risk of insecurity. The risk that you could just finish planting and you find it difficult to harvest. At some point in Gwe West, they said that for them to harvest, they had to take military to guard them as they were harvesting. It became so bad. So these are some risks you look out for. You want to go and make inventory into farming. What if you go and invest in the farm and after planting, harvest season comes and you can't even harvest because of one thing or the other? What if after planting there's flood? How do you mitigate such risk? You ask these questions when you are getting into a business. But when they now present you with the stocks, when they present you with the stocks, you now forget that there's a business behind it. That's the problem. When they present you with the stocks, you just rush and buy the stocks. Because somehow, I don't know, maybe in our head, we feel the stocks are separate from the business. You're forgetting at that point that you are part and parcel of the business. Okay, right? At that point, we just forget. We just forget. And that's what we do with stocks a lot of times. So that's why understanding is key. That's why understanding is key. Like I said, you don't need to know everything. You don't. But at the basic level, you should understand what the company does. You should understand how they make their money. You should understand why customers choose that company. You should understand what could threaten the company. You should understand who they're in competition with, if they can survive the competition, if they can compete. You should understand whether the company can grow over time. Who are the leaders in the company? Are they visionary people? Are they people who want to drive things for a long time? Or are they just there to just make money once and jump out? What's their vision for the company? What's their vision for the business? See, when you have this level of clarity, see, everything changes. See, when you have this strong understanding, even if you don't understand how market prices go up and down, trust me, you're good. You're good to go. Because you don't need to know it all. Right? There's power in clarity when it comes to stock investing. And because when you understand the business that you've invested in, you are calm. You see, you're very, very calm. Oh, they said the stock market is down. You're not perturbed. You're not perturbed. You're not bothered. Because most probably you're in fact you're eating out of the product of that company. As they're saying you're using their product. You say, no, this one, people are even still buying at the stock market is down. Stock market is down. You see people are even still rushing the product. See, you know what you bought. You're more patient. You're less influenced by noise. Oh, this thing, oh, it has gone down, it has gone up. You know where you're going. You know what to put your money in. Right? Helps you make better decisions. So when you have clarity, you're not just watching the price, you're evaluating value. You're evaluating value. Right? So see, Warren Buffett advises us back. He will always say, never invest in a business you cannot understand. Never. If you don't understand the business, don't put your money in it. Don't put your money in a business you don't understand. See, even if they say, this business, don't worry, it is this, it is that. If you do not understand the business, don't put your money in it. And it's not just an advice, it's protection. It's protection. A lot of people lose money in the market, and it's not because the market is difficult. I've said it. Almost everyone that has met me that said they've lost money in the stock market is not because of the market, it is because of them. It is because they either rushed into opportunities, or they skipped understanding, or they were chasing results. See, some of us buy stocks because that somebody, they just came to the office and told you people that these stocks now is the new best thing, buy it. In fact, we've worked with the authorities. They say if you're interested, we can take it from source and invest for you every month. We'll take it from your salary. You say, why not? Good thing. No due diligence, no nothing. Just jump in. You just jump in. You jump in like my friend, the story of my friend that I talked about in the last class. I told a lot of stories. Talked about my friend that jumped into the pool without knowing how to swim, without knowing where the deep and the shallow part was. Most times, that's how we jump into the stock market. We don't know how deep it is. We just jump in. We can't swim either, and we don't even ask, is this the deep? Is this the shallow part? We just jump in. Right? And in investing, that's too costly. Very costly. Very, very costly. So before you buy any stock, I need you to pause and ask yourself, if the stock market closes for 5 years, right? If the stock market has to close down for 5 years, would I still be comfortable owning this business? I say again, ask yourself, if the stock market decides that they will close and open 5 years later, will you be comfortable owning that business? If the answer is no, then you're not investing. You're not investing. Remember, part of investing means that you're looking at the long term. It's not about putting your money in today and you're bringing it out tomorrow, right? And the moment you stop looking at it from that view of long term, you're merely just speculating. Remember, what I'm teaching you here is investing, not trading. And I'm not teaching you to invest, to trade, sorry. I'm teaching you to invest. And there's a stark difference. Right? So if you truly want to succeed in the stock market, you need to move from guessing to understanding. You need to move from reacting to thinking. You need to move from chasing to building. See, the quality of your investment decisions will never rise above the quality of your understanding. I want to say it again. The quality of your investment decisions will never rise above the quality of your understanding. So what it means is that you need to increase the quality of your understanding. You need to improve on it. Right? You need to improve on it. And that's why we also opened the stock, the how to make money from stock webinar. The how to make money from stock webinar is designed to help you to begin to think like an investor. Right? It is designed to help you increase your level of understanding of stocks and the stock market and how it works. And how it works. Right? You need to increase your understanding. Building wealth on the stock market is not on hype, it's on understanding. Right? What you don't understand, you can't grow. Now, where your understanding reach, now your decision will stop. So the question is, what is the level of your understanding? What's the level of your understanding? Be very honest to yourself today. What's the level of your understanding? Even people that are in the Money Click program, right? I still urge them to come along and take this course because every knowledge is important. Every knowledge is important. Right? It's important. Talk less of you that, oh, you're not even aware at all. You need the most. You need it the most. So come on board. When you come for the how to make money, we've trained over 500 people in the how to make money from stock class in the last few years, right? And each time it's really it's one of the most eye-opening stock investment classes you will ever attend. And that's why we are telling you about it. So please come on board. Join us. Trust me, you will be wowed. You will realize, but when you come to the how to make money from stocks webinar, you'll be wondering what it is you thought stocks were. You'll be wondering what you thought you knew about stock market and stock investing. Right? So come on board, come and learn. Right? Like I said earlier, see, waiting you they decide. The quality of your decision is dependent on the quality of your understanding. So take a step today to increase the quality of your understanding. Right? Increase the quality of your understanding. And don't stop there. Read books. Read books. Read books. Read and read and read. I want to give you one expo. One expo that we never get to tell people. Right? 3/4 of everything we share with you, or we're going to share with you the how to make money from stocks, is from books that other people have written, that we've read. It's from books, right? The rest, experience, and every other thing. So read. Yeah, stock investing books can be one of, well, for some people say it's one of the hardest things they can read. But if you get to a place where you immerse yourself in it, you begin to understand it. You begin to understand it. The more you read about it, the more you get to understand it. The more you read about it, the more you get to understand it. So don't stop reading. Don't stop reading. For some of us who felt that, okay, we only needed to read to pass exams in school, now it's all over. Oh, I'm so sorry. Life is about continuous education. In life, you just keep reading, you just keep learning everything. Everything, you just keep learning every day. So learning has not stopped. Reading has not stopped. Right? It continues. Continues. Forever. Keep learning to the day you die. Right? Yes, the books are usually strange. And the books are strange because, well, the books are strange to us as we are strange to them. Right? As we are strange to them. So that's why we need to draw closer to them. We need to draw closer to them. There's a book I would recommend that you read. The book on common sense investing. Right? Get the book. The book on common sense investing. Get the book. Read it. Right? You're going to get deeper understanding of the stock market. Right? Yes, I agree with you, ma. I agree with you, ma. Exactly. Let's read to open our minds. Right. So make it a date to be in the how to make money from stocks webinar. I think it's starting next month. Yes, on the 14th of next month. That's when we're starting how to make money from stocks webinar. So please see you then. Before then, we'll keep still teaching you one or two things. We'll keep wetting the ground as we prepare for that course. Tomorrow again, we're going to be here. by 12 noon. And we're also going to be talking again about something very key, integral for you to understand in stock investing, right? And telling you some things, advantages or disadvantages of not knowing certain things before you get into the stock market, right? Like I said, this is the month of stock investing, right? So everything stock investing. And also, please, if you have questions, I would want you to always bring your question. In fact, prepare your questions before you come to the class, right? And if you do not prepare them, send them to me later on, and I'll be happy to respond to the questions. Bring your questions. For those in the Money Click program, of course, bring your question to the group. Yeah, I saw one question this morning in cohort 2, which I'm going to respond to after this class, right? Bring your question. I think that question was from Dr. Wafo. I'm going to respond to that question. I just saw it this morning. So bring questions, please. Always ask your questions as much as you can, right? We want more and more and more questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for joining us today on this live session on Wednesday. Thank you. I see a lot of people. Oh, I see people on Instagram. I see Madam Linda Oku as usual on Instagram. Thank you so much, Ma, for being here today. The person I didn't see today is Tita Academy. Yes, I didn't see her today. Anyway, maybe she's somewhere. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for joining us. And this is where we draw the curtain to our live session today. We'll see you tomorrow again on YouTube. Yep, strictly on YouTube by 12 noon, right? We don't miss it. Remember, no matter what happens, we get to be here. We get to. I've been having migraines this morning, but we can't miss this class for anything. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. My name remains Chukwemeko Onyenezi, and I am the Billionaire Coach. Do have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.